Oh, God. I'm starting to think maybe I am a curse to this team, the USMNT, because every time I give them any type of recognition, credit, praise, say they're playing well, it just feels like the collapse is right around the corner and they normally get embarrassed. And that's exactly what happened today. And we're 75 days from the World Cup. And after today, I feel somehow worse about what's going to happen this summer. So we're going to break down what happened against Belgium versus the U.S. Belgium beat us 5-2 today. And we're going to break down the first half, the second half, the bad, and the slightly good, I guess, for the USMNT. But welcome to MLS Moves, presented by FanDuel, a proud sponsor of the channel. Please make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Well, the first half, I thought the U.S. actually looked pretty good in the first half. I thought they looked competent. I thought they looked confident. I was a little surprised by a couple of the starters, right? I mean, I thought we were going to go the 3-4-2-1, but that's not what we did. I was surprised that Matt Turner started over Matt Freese. But I was pretty, I think everything else is pretty much expected, the starting 11 wise. Now, Tessman started, McKenzie started for Richards, who had been injured, or he was pulled out, I think, like a couple days ago out of camp. So pretty much, though, everything else was exactly what I expected, right? They played the 4-2-3. They played like a 4-3-3, I guess, or 4-2-3-1. But the first half, I thought we looked really good and explosive. The person who stood out to me in the first half was Jedi Robinson. And, there's just so much to dissect of like what happened before the game, during the game. It started off with the reporters asking, if Jedi thought that he was going to be fighting for his spot, or, how confident he was that he was going to make the World Cup roster. And I'm just thinking to myself, really? Really, you're asking Jedi if he's confident in making the roster and he's got to prove himself. Now, I know he hasn't played a lot of games under Poach, but come on, dude. Really? I mean, it's just abysmal, right? And then also, too, have to mention the jerseys on the pitch, the white on white, white versus white. I mean, some people might not even be able to break down the game, including myself, is good because it's hard to see who the hell was who. I mean, just an absolute disaster. I don't know what was worse, the color combination for both teams to watch this game as a spectator, or the score line of how bad we lost. It's honestly probably a close tie. Maybe the jerseys still win over the score line. But anyway, back to the game. I thought Robinson was the best player for the USMNT in the first half. Now, some people thought he didn't look as good because maybe he had a couple touches that were too he had bad touches and maybe a couple errant passes. But I thought he looked absolutely explosive on the left side, and he was cooking Belgium. I think, and he had a couple options on the attack. He had the one shot that almost went in earlier in the game. I just thought he was a menace on the left side for the USD, especially in the first half, and he was the one who really popped off the screen. I thought Malik Tillman looked really good in the first half, too. I thought he had some explosive touches. I thought that he showed something in the attack, and you could see that confidence carry over from the summertime when he really started to shine for the USMNT. And I was a little skeptical because he really wasn't playing to the level you would want him to be playing for Leverkusen. But I thought he looked perfectly fine today for the USMNT. I thought Cardoso was okay. Not bad nor good. I just thought he was okay, which is an improvement because the last couple games, or most of the time he's ever played for the USMNT, he's been very unnoticeable or just a disaster. So I wouldn't say that he was bad. Tim Ream. Tim Ream. I still think Tim Ream should not be on this team, but we'll save that for later. And then Matt Turner. Matt Turner gave up this goal. Now, some people will say that he had no chance of saving that, but Matt Turner just is not an athletic goalkeeper. He has no confidence right now. He's not playing well for the Revolution, New England. The New England Revolution are not even a good team. He has no business starting. We have decided that Matt Freese, whether you like him or not, is the best option for the USMNT right now. He should have started this game. Wasting this opportunity on Matt Turner makes absolute zero sense. No sense at all. Okay? So I feel like this was a wasted chance. If you weren't going to play Matt Freese, play someone else then. Matt Turner has no chance at being the starter. I think his ship has sailed. I don't even want him on this team anymore, honestly. I'm not even joking. I don't want Matt Turner on this team anymore. I don't think he's good. He has no upside. He's getting older. I don't even want him on the team. So having him start made no sense. And then Timothy Weah, I have to mention him on the right side. He was playing right back, right wing back. Doku was cooking him more in the second half, but he was getting exposed in the first half too, to a certain extent. We do have to mention, though, I do think McKennie looked pretty good. He did have the one shot he missed, which was a great save by Belgium. I thought that he was going to score that, and if you saw it live or the replay, you wonder how he didn't score that. But he did get the goal in the 39th minute on the corner from Jedi Robinson, and he scored. And I thought McKennie did not look bad. I thought McKennie was solid. Now, Pulisic was horrible in the first half. Christian Pulisic, man, like he has just had one of the most roller coaster seasons I've ever seen. He was playing incredible ball in the first half of the year, and then the last 3 months, he's been pretty bad. He did have one game a couple games ago where he did play pretty well for Milan, but overall, last 3 months, he's been really bad. And they need him to step up. He was probably one of the worst players in the first half. I mean, he was, and maybe that's unfair, but it's because it's the expectations we have for him and how he's supposed to play. He just was not good in the attack. Tillman, McKennie, Tessman, Ballo, for the most part, was all better, in my opinion, than Pulisic. I thought Pulisic was just very, very mediocre in that first half. Belgium scores in the 45th minute. Like I said, they tie it up. So it goes in the half 1-1. Okay. I know with what I said, you're probably thinking, man, you were just so down on the first half. I actually felt pretty good about the first half. This is one of the best teams in the world. Okay. They're ranked 9th in FIFA. Okay. This is a team you're going to have to beat if you want to advance in the World Cup. Okay. I actually felt pretty good after the first half. Yes, there were flaws. Yes, there were things we need to correct. But we're 1-1. We're tied with Belgium heading into the first half, and I think we had some very positive moments. And the build-up play and some of the cohesive team passing, everything started to look better, especially when you consider like some of these guys haven't played a lot together. Ballo, Jedi, Weah, McKennie, Cardoso, Tessman. Some of these guys have not played together several games, right? But the chemistry honestly wasn't too bad. And if I told you Pulisic was as bad as he was in the first half, you probably wouldn't expected it to be this close. So anyway, go to the first half, not bad. Second half, I tweet this saying that the first half looked pretty good. Then the wheels just fell off. Absolutely fell off. Conceded a goal in the 53rd minute. So we're down 2-1. Not a huge deal. Obviously, there's a chance to come back. It's early, still 37 minutes left plus added time. And then there was a penalty. The ball looked like it might have came off of Tim Ream's arm. I can't really see from that angle. It was really weird. They were saying, I think Kyle Martino was saying that it looked like he got off his thigh. I really couldn't tell from the angle if it was a handball or not. I didn't see a clear angle of it going off his arm. But the angle did look weird. Okay. So they award a penalty. They score in the 59th minute, and it's 3-1. And at that point, it's over. I mean, we just don't have any resilience in us to really come back after that. We don't have the resilience to come back after that. We just don't have anybody that could lead us, that could do anything. There was just no heart. It was like, this really did feel like an exhibition game where they weren't willing to put it all on the line, which I guess that's fine. But my God, you'd like to see some type of comeback from an adversity, because that might happen to us. But it's like the towel was thrown in. Poch made some subs. Like he subbed in Christian Roldan, which I forgot to mention. Subbed in Christian Roldan in the second half. First, at the beginning of the second half, when Cardoso reportedly had no injury, nothing like that. Roldan comes in the second half. And they score. They're up 3-1, like I said. Then they score again in the 68th minute. Okay. Now, the 64th minute, they had 3 changes. They brought in Alex Freeman. They brought in Sebastian Berhalter and Max Arvston, and it was just like the wheels really fell off. Like some of these guys have no business being in the game. Like I don't rate Max Arvston at all. I think Alex Freeman's not ready to really be playing any significant minutes for the USMNT. And Sebastian Berhalter is okay, I guess, but I still think that if he's going to be on the team, he's got to be a very, very deep depth piece at this point. So we just packed in at that point. Okay. So he scored in the 68th minute. It's 4-1. And they scored again in the 82nd minute to go 5-1. And Patrick Agyemang did score in the 87th minute, which there'll be some people who love Patrick Agyemang. You're gonna be like, "Oh my God, he scored! See, I told you, haters." I mean, we're down 5-1. I mean, come on, we're down 5-1. I'm not really worried about that's. Not my main concern. That's not something I'm taking away from this game. I'm just thinking about some of these players who have no business being on the team. And Joseph Scally had a really weird jersey pull to get a yellow. I mean, it was, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, man. My God. Like, I mean, it was like a frustration foul, but it just kind of like summarized the game of how we played in that second half. And in this game, I did that preview with Derek from the Straight Red Card. And sometimes these friendlies, you can learn a lot. Sometimes you don't learn anything. Sometimes people say don't put too much into it because, there's been all these teams that play really, really bad and a couple of friendlies, a camp before the World Cup. But I just don't know how anyone's confidence can't be somewhat broken after what they saw today. There's a lot of guys who don't belong on this team. There's a lot of concerns in the back line, like Ream. McKenzie still isn't very good, which he hasn't been for the USMNT. You see how bad we are when Chris Richards isn't playing. Matt Turner is a disaster. He should not be starting in goal. I mean, the only saving grace in the back line was Jedi, and it was more of what he did in the attack than he did on the back line. He wasn't bad in the defense, but he was better in the attack. That's just what his specialty is going to be. There's just so many concerning things. And the sad part is that Belgium was the easier team of the two teams we're playing. We got to play Portugal on Tuesday. And if we play like we did tonight, Portugal might hang 8 on us. I'm not even joking. I think Portugal's a better team than Belgium. And we just, there's so much to be concerned about. Pulisic's got to play better. So many guys have to play better. Like the second half was just inexcusable. They should never be like that. They just quit, and the guys that came in were not worth a damn. They just weren't good. Gio Reyna came in the 70th minute. I thought he should have came in earlier than the 70th minute. I can't believe the people who came in before him. Just so many question marks about. I mean, I feel I'm so mad about this result. Like I'm pissed. Like I know it doesn't matter. But it does matter. It matters. It matters because you want to see the team going up on the upward trajectory, heading into the World Cup, not getting beat 5-1 or 5-2. So, I mean, if I had to pick a player of the game for the USMNT, I'd probably pick McKennie or Robinson. I mean, like I said, I think Robinson, McKennie, and Tillman were the 3 best players for the USMNT. We got a lot of issues on this club or on this national team heading into a very important match on Tuesday that we're probably going to get smoked in. Very concerning, guys. And if we're looking at the stats too, possession was essentially the same, 52-48. USMNT had more, 52%. First half shots was 8 USMNT, 4 on target. Belgium had 13 shots, 4 on target. The second half, the U.S. only had 4 shots, 1 on target, and Belgium had 8, 6 on target. Belgium just absolutely punished us in the second half. It's just gonna have to see a lot of changes, I think, in the second match. And I think some of these guys should never play another game for the USMNT. I'm telling you, I don't think Tim Ream should be playing again. I don't think Matt Turner should be playing again. I don't think Max Arvston should be on the pitch. Christian Roldan, I love him in MLS. I think he's been very good. I think Johnny should have been played the rest of the game to see what happened. A lot of things, a lot of question marks. Just deflating, guys. That's all I can say. It's very, very deflating. Just want to say I'm curious what you guys think about this match. What was your biggest takeaway? Are you deflated about what happened in our loss 5-2 to Belgium? Who was the best player for the USMNT? Who was the worst player on the pitch? And who do you blame the most? Also, want to say that if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you like it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, don't forget the MLS Moves was presented by FanDuel. Until next time, guys, sadly, I will see you all on Tuesday, and hopefully the results are much better.